Hello everyone from my Greekit YouTube channel. Today we can see this is a video recording I did previously because I had no time to watch the market, but as you can see our move last night went pretty well. As you can see, we had a nice place here. The price went over Kijunsen. Everything went really well, and we have a cloud breakout there and went until up. The same picture I saw in my Fibo tool. As you can see, this was last night, and then the price went over the Fibos, and it has a nice overnight rally. I think when this recording was done, market was still close. We had opened our position at 210, and as you can see, we're almost 110 pips profit at this point. So I decided at that time, because I was still working, I decided to put a take profit, and usually I decide to put the take profit on a fractal. This was my fractal there, so I took the stop loss I had put overnight, and now it was a take profit. It is important to understand where your take profit should be. Usually you must use a fractal there, so you can be sure that everything goes well. The 5-minute chart, I usually use the 5-minute chart to enter and exit a point. Here was the recording I did with no voice, so I believe here was showing you that we had higher highs and higher lows, so the market was trending. It was trending for sure, and it wasn't opened yet. I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes to be open. So I was chasing and looking at the market and trying to understand what it was trying to do. But the problem today was that I had, because of my work, I could not see, I could not understand, and I had no time to chase the market and to find the best exit position. I think at one point there was 150 pips or more profit by it. I wasn't monitoring the market. This another interesting thing I was showing here was that the 30-minute was over Kijunsen, over Tekkensen. It was on the upper part of the Bollinger bar. It was a very, very strong upward trend there that you should be aware of. And this here, I think, was the market opening. I usually, when the market opens, you have to be really careful, because the problem is that the market open. This is another time frame I was monitoring. I wasn't on work, but I had time to see the market open. As you can see here, I usually, when the market opens, I use a take profit at not at the last fractal, at the fractal that was before the last one, because the market usually breaks that. It knows that many people use that for a stop loss, so you have to be really, really tight on that, and you have to be sure that you go at the previous fractal. So as you can see, the candle before the 5 minutes candle there, it broke that fractal, and if you had that stop loss, it would take you out and you would lose this nice movement that it did when it opened. You have to be aware of the 30 minutes. As I said, I am a short-term trader. That means I like to watch the 30 minutes, what it does, and then to see it all. Here, as you can see, the Kumo cloud, the second span A, second span B was green. We had a very nice breakout of the standard deviation. The standard deviation is another indicator that helps you understand that now we have a trend. You can use whatever level you want, and if the standard deviation goes over that level, you have to be sure of that there is a trend, and you must find a nice position to enter with a long trade. Remember, we are above in the 30 minutes, we are above the Kijunsen, Tekkensen. Now I was showing, I think, when I was making that video, that recording, I was showing to you that we had a higher high there. So whatever the movement was, I was expecting a nice upward movement. And now, as you can see, I lost all the trade there because the market, I had no time to go there, but as you can see, this was the best fractal and the best position you could do to put your stop loss there. You can see it was just above the Kijunsen. I think I have put my stop loss there. I took a profit, I think about 80-90 pips today, and but I could have done better if I was above the market, because I lost that moment. I couldn't monitor it. I had some things to do. Hi guys, we are continuing our recording at this point. Today was a messed up day, but we did well. We got some nice pips there, about 80 or 90 pips for example, but we could have done more. But my job didn't let me from monitoring the market hour by hour as I wanted it. We had, and if you can see in the previous video, we had opened our, I think at 210, somewhere right here, I had opened one long trade, and I did that because, as I told you yesterday, I felt somehow confident because I was over the Kumo cloud. Of course, at night it went inside the cloud, so I had to put a stop loss right here, but my stop loss was never hit. So when I opened the market, I saw that it went really high, and it had gone until right here, 391, for example. From 210, if I could have monitored it, maybe I would have closed my trade, I'm sorry. I usually, as I said before, I usually use the 5-minute chart to close my trade. So as you can see here, if you're a Ichimoku trader or a fractal trader, you can see that it made the retrace it wanted, but we never had a higher high. So this was a suspicious moment. I wasn't here, but if I was, I would have seen that, and the stop loss should have been right here. But I think I left it somewhere here, a little bit lower, and then I had to continue my job. But when I came back, I saw that the market had changed its mind. It does that many times. So you have to be very cautious. You have to put some take profit. You have to put some stop loss in order not to make big mistakes, not to have big loss. So, as I said before, we had a higher high, a retracement, but we never got a higher high. So, the one stop loss you should have put was right here in this fractal, or you could have put the Kijunsen. As we said, Kijunsen is a major indicator line which shows us that the trend has changed. So there's no need for you, even if you have lost some pips right there, there's no need for you to keep that trade. You should have closed it right here and wait what the market will do. As you can see, we had the crossover right here, Kijunsen and Tekkensen. The Tekkensen went below Kijunsen, so my Kumo cloud, my Ichimoku system says, okay, my friend, be prepared, because now we have a trend change right here. It doesn't matter if 1 or 2 hours ago the market went crazy up. Now it changed, so you have to be really flexible with the market. Remember, if you're a short-term trader, you should know where to change with the market. There's no need for you to keep this position. Or for example, if you go right here and say, oh, I have big wins right here, but then it goes lower and lower and say, oh, I have to keep it, so maybe it goes that way. It doesn't do that. So the best thing for you is to see what is going on, to read the market. As you can see here, we had the opposite story. We had the lower low, lower high, lower low. Here is a bit tricky because we had the higher high, but the problem here was the closer was right there, and we are below Bollinger Band, we are under Kijunsen, we're under the cloud, so we don't think about going long right here. And then you see we had a nice trend down. We had the lower low again, lower high, lower low, and at this point the market decides to change again. The Kijunsen, the candlestick, the price went above Kijunsen. We are on the upper part of the Bollinger Band, and here again you have to be very careful. You can take this here. You can, if you're a technical analysis guy, you would see that we had higher lows and higher highs. So the trend has changed again. You can follow that again and again and see what's going on. But the best thing is to be, if you're an Ichimoku player, you must go with the flow. That means that you have to wait for the system to go above the cloud, above second span A, above second span B, above Kijunsen, above Tekkensen. So if we have to make an analysis, tomorrow analysis, let's see. It's a big strange story here, right here, because I don't like playing, I don't like trading long when I am below the middle line of the Bollinger Band. I always like to go long when I'm over that. I think we're gonna have a movement up here, somewhere right here, but the most important thing for you to understand is that it may also test this low here. Sometimes the market goes like this, it goes down, it goes up somewhere here, it goes down, and then makes the bigger movement you want to see. You have to be cautious about that, because we are based on the Ichimoku system. As you can see, we are above the Ichimoku system. We have a crossover right here. We are above Kijunsen, above second span A, above second span B, above Kip Johnson, but I am below Bollinger Bar. So this makes me, this tells me stay put until you see a better and a clear line. Someone will say why the market went until this place right here, made the fractal. As we said, fractals are just U-turns. So it went there, it turned, now it turns here. So why it went until that point there? Maybe the Fibonacci retracement will give us an idea. So let's see. I'm going to make the retracement right there. Yes, it is amazing. As you can see, we had a very nice retracement at 61.8. As we say, the three major retracements a market can make is 38.2, 50 and 61.8. So it is important for you to understand that this here, I believe, was a retracement. So we may have a lower position, maybe the price might go a bit lower and then will follow again up. I believe it for sure it will come back somewhere here, but we have to be cautious, we have to wait. As you can see, my Fibo lines here, it's another system I use, are telling me you're not in a very it's a messed up thing. As you can see here, that means stay away until you see a very clear sign to enter the market, because if we go previously we would have seen that this here is a very clear market, and this also tells me that you should have left your position at 26,349 the price, the 49 pips. So as you can see, this also is very helpful. We had a lower movement here, but now it's a messed up thing, so we have to wait for a clear sign. I wish if the price goes above Bollinger Band, the middle part of the Bollinger Band, then we may have, then we can make one trade, one long trade there, and wait what happens. If we go for our chart and see what happens right here, okay, as we say, we're uptrend, everything is above. As you can see here, we had a movement right there, went up, down again, testing maybe this here. So we have to wait. We're for sure in an uptrend, but we have to find a nice spot to enter the market again. The daily candle. Okay, let's get rid of this one here because it's messed up my readings. The daily candle was kind of a red one, but it was in these two areas. It was inside the area of the previous of the yesterday candle. The stochastic of the daily stochastic shows that there might be a downward movement, but believe me, when there is a trend, stochastic fails for sure. For example, if you can see here, if you're a stochastic player, you can see the stochastic goes down, but the market never leaves the uptrend. So my analysis for tomorrow is just to wait what is going to happen, to wait here to have a clear sign to enter the market. I believe that the market may test again these areas here before it moves up. Another thing is that the market may go above. If we cross over the Bollinger Band, then we may find a nice spot to enter the market. And usually we can use the 5-minute chart to tell us, for example, here when the crossover happened, when the price went below the blue line, the Kijun-sen, you had no reason to keep that trade. If you're a day trader, you should have avoided this one. If you're a trader that wants to keep for a long time his trades, and you're following the trend of the market, of the daily trend, weekly or monthly trade, then for sure you can keep that, because as you saw, it may be a retracement at all. And if you're a Fibo player, the retracement became here. But if we take, for example, this one, this movement right there, it is interesting again because this might be another retracement of the market. It depends on which way you see it. The closure was close to the 50%, and the price action went until 61.8, in the middle of the 61.8 and the 78.6. So the market wants to fool us again and say, oh, I'm going down, or I'm going up, or something like that. Don't be very hasty with your trades. Don't agonize about making a trend and make it fast. You have to think really careful before making a trade. I'm sorry. I want to see if we take this one here. Of course, this retracement here was close to the 61.8. Again, you see, I believe Fibonacci retracement plays an important part. After many years of trading not very well and not knowing many things, now I'm showing some things you can use. You can take whatever you want, you can leave whatever you want, but what I want to teach you from these videos is that you have to be really careful about giving your money, about playing with your emotions. You have to leave out the emotions and strive and try to make some reasonable trades. Try to, as I said in the previous video, try to justify why I'm making this trade. Try to make a little bit. You can never predict for 100% for sure. It's something that is it's inhuman. It's something that you cannot do. The markets are there, but some formations, if you are a chart player, you would have seen, for example, here happens the same story again. We had the movement that went this way, upwards, and the retracement. If you go back and analyze this retracement, you would see that it was a terrifying 60. Sometimes it's really terrifying to see that these numbers here show you the exact place of the market, that this is the place that we might go. So again, there are many players, there are many traders out there that uses a lot of Fibonacci retracements like this one here, but it's terrifying when most of the times it comes out to be true. It comes out to be something that it's true. It's not something that it's theoretical. You know, every time you see a retracement back there, you understand that this is it works like a clock, because remember, these things, these movements here are made with are made by computers. So computers do whatever they are told to. Computers are not so smart as people, but the difference between computers and people is that computers don't have feelings. If they fail one, they don't care about it. They continue and make another trade and make another trade, and finally they make a lot of money. But with us, simple traders, small fishes, and not sharks as the other people are, with us the problem is that we have emotions, and this is the most difficult part in trading. Take out all of the emotions and maybe you become a better trader. Read some books, read some technical analysis, read some standard deviation, take some indicators that you feel they can help you, and then start trading. This is the best thing you can do. Don't trade too fast. Don't be the guy who says, okay, I have $50,000, let's put them on the market. I believe you will lose that. These videos, I'm trying to inform mostly the new traders, the new people that are out there now and trying to make some money, trying to make some good trades. This is the only thing. Maybe more experienced traders may know these things already, but I believe that knowledge is something that you can acquire by yourself also, or is something that you should try to acquire by any means. This means go to the internet, see people that are good traders, try to understand why they did that trades, or you can just be an Ichimoku trader like me. Always start with a very small account. This is the most important thing. Don't leave your money in the markets. Don't give them so easily, because most people are giving the money very easily in the market. This is the most difficult part for new traders to understand. They try really hard, to make money fast. Okay, I have a lot of money, but I want to double it or want to triple it, and you see them losing them and then weeping out, and they're saying, but the market doesn't care about you. They don't care if you're going to win or lose. Of course, they care that you're going to lose at some point. And that's the difficult part of the market. Stay out of your emotions. Make some really good trades by justifying what you're doing. And the most important thing of all of this, just have some technical analysis advising, or start with a demo account. This is the best thing for you to do. And see how consistent. Consistency is something really, it's very difficult, Yesterday I made 90 pips, but the day tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to win or lose. So you have to be prepared and understand how this thing works, and you have to understand that you should not give your money easily to the market. That's the purpose of all the video I will try to do with you. I also learn with you. I also learn with the markets. Sometimes I have more time, sometimes I have less time because I have other things also to do. But remember, it is very important for you to understand that don't give your money, especially the new traders, don't give your money easily in the markets, because the market will go up and down, and you will go always, you have found yourself, if you're new traders, I believe you have found many times yourself in a position where you go long, the market goes short. You go short, the market goes long, and then you get mad. You say, what is going on? Are they monitoring you for something like that? You start having delusions. You're saying, okay, I think someone is going against my bets. That's a very, I'm not sure that can be done. They know for sure for that they have some statistical analysis of where do the mostly people put their stop losses or take profits or something like that. For sure, they have some information of this kind, but remember that the market will do what it wants to do no matter what you trade, because you're not a shark, you're a little fish, and we the little fishes have very little impact on the market. So try to understand that the market can be your friend, but it can also be your enemy. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or anything you like, you can send me an email. You can write your post under my video. Anything you like, anything you discuss. Maybe you have, if you have other strategies also that you find it helpful, we may also want to see them. As you can see here now, there's a movement going on, but it's really late and the market is closed. I really don't like trading at this hours because the fees also are really high. The movement is really low, so I don't like trading at this time. So unless I say that, okay, maybe we should try long, but I strongly believe that we may have a movement down here. And as you can see, stochastic is almost on the overbought level. If this thing goes, maybe we have a flag here. As you said before, what happened here? We had a very violent movement downwards, and then we had the flag here. You see? And then this was, at some point I understood that I wasn't in the flag, so I said, okay, let's keep the bet and see what happens. It may have done the opposite. For example, the opening may have been right there. But I felt a little bit safe because I was over a green Kumo cloud here, so I said, let's keep the bet until tomorrow. And it went pretty well. I should have stopped it right here, but I told you before why I couldn't do that. So, we are still long here. The 5-minute chart is trying to break out from the Kumo cloud right there. We are above Kijunsen, we are above Tekkensen. We are at the Bollinger Bar, at the upper part of the Bollinger Bar. I think we have to wait a little bit before we make a decision of what should we do right here. But the problem is here that we have two problems. The first problem is that this place here has to be retested again, and this high here has to be retested again. So we see we are in the middle of a storm right here. We have to be really patient until we see what the market wants to do, and then we're going to follow it. That's all from my Greekit. Thank you for watching. I hope we can make some more successful trades together. Have a nice night.